to 30A Television. I'm Julia, and I'm here with
Julia.
And Julia.
We have got some scallops today, and we've wrapped them in bacon. And what else are we doing?
I thought you were supposed to know this, Julia.
I wasn't at rehearsal.
We're going to just go on. You
sorry.
talk.
I'm sorry. All right, y'all. So as she mentioned, we got the scallops that are wrapped in bacon. Nice thick cut bacon, so you get a lot of flavor in there. We've got some acorn squash here that we have been marinating in some apple cider vinegar, little seasoned salt, little olive oil, and little salt and pepper. And then we've got some spinach here. We've got some diced up red peppers in the bottom, a little bit of water to steam, a little bit of salt and pepper in there as well. And it's all just going to go on the grill and have one big potty.
Well, I'll just get us started, and then maybe you can talk about the shampoo.
Well, I think we should definitely start with the shampoo.
Let's do the acorn
I've said
squash first.
previously.
Well, how's it going to cook if I don't put it on the grill, darling?
Well, why don't you do this? You put it on the grill.
Just the
Caught
squash.
them, didn't
Just
I?
put the squash on the grill, and then what I'm going to do is,
Righto.
while you're doing that, I'm going to show them how to make this lovely little champagne berry Eastery cocktail.
Oh, now why are we putting the squash on first? Because it takes longer to cook?
Correct, Julia. It's
Wow.
a little thicker, it's a little denser, and those little suckers over there aren't going to take any time at all. So
Jolly
we'll get
good, right?
them going.
Well, you know, this is like a whole plan.
It actually is.
Amazingly, you should come to the meeting. It's
That's right.
fascinating.
One of these days, you know, you're going to show up and you're like, we can't do that yet. I haven't made mine. This is the whole point of what I've been trying to
Well, let
say.
me throw on the squash
So you
and
put
edit
the
this piece
squash
out.
on. Perfect. Okay, for this champagne cocktail, I'm using a very, very inexpensive
But good.
but delicious. It's called MPX, and it's a Cava rosé. Cava means that it's from Spain, so it's still a bubbly wine, a sparkling wine, but it comes from Spain instead of champagne. Because the true deal is that to be called a champagne, it's got to come from the region of Champagne in France. And they can use the different wines in it, but it's got to come from that region. So if it comes from anywhere else, then it's got to be called where it comes from. So we're using that, and then we're adding a little bit. Calm down, girls, it's coming.
We learn something new every day.
We're going to put in some crushed strawberries.
Ooh, it's windy.
Just like that.
Not time
And then
for the
for
moon to
this
come out
one, to
yet,
give it
Julia.
that little Easter flavor, Julie, we're going to add a touch of peach schnapps.
Yum.
And I found this fabulous little peach schnapps.
that from Georgia?
Gionelli Schnapps.
Well,
And I found this at the liquor store down here in Blue Mountain Beach. So you might want to stop in there and have a look.
the
So
one that
now-
should be advertising with us.
Serve it over some crushed ice to give it a little bit of fun. Cheers.
Cheers. Isn't this fun? Yes, indeed. So what have you girls been up to this week other than cooking and cleaning?
I wore shoes this week to change it up.
You did. And I know for sure.
I, however, did not participate in that. I definitely stayed barefoot.
I did go. I went and got myself a couple little hair
I
extensions.
noticed you had your hair done.
And Julia here wanted to know if blondes have more fun. So what do you think so far?
I thought I'd give it a try. So far, I don't know. I've been insulted once, but other than that,
Well, Mr.
see
Julie's
how
going to love it.
Mr. Julie's going to
Mr.
love
Julie's
it.
going to love it.
Mr. Julie is the one who insulted me, but we'll talk about it later.
And yourself, Julia.
what have you been
what's
up
been
to,
going on with you?
Well, I mean, it's just been, 30A is just an amazing place because it's busy all the time. There's always some kind of event going on, so we've been out, meeting people and shaking hands.
Gallivanting and hobnobbing.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. So, anyway, did we do a cheers yet?
Cheers.
We did, but you didn't
Well,
participate.
it's been a long time
Well,
since
yes,
We haven't had cheers in a while. Absolutely.
Good
Thank
to
you
see
to
him.
thank you to everybody that requested the show be back on
Oh,
again.
Julia, that's yummy.
I told you, it's
Very
delicious.
good. Very good.
So, Jules, how do you have that grill set over there? How are we going to work
Well,
with that?
actually, I do have it on a medium heat right now because we wanted to get quite hot, but not all the way hot because it'll burn the squash. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Excellent.
And the olive oil that's on the...
Well, yes, I'm glad you asked that. There's a lovely coating of olive oil on there, and that will distribute the heat evenly. Of course, you have to turn those little skewers, or else they...
like
they'll
with
just-
all little skewers. You
Indeed,
got to turn
yes.
them.
Indeed, and or else it won't cook evenly there too. So there you have it.
Okay. Thanks.
I keep getting stuck in my strawberries.
I have the same problem sometimes, dear.
I understand. Now that I'm a blonde.
And
It's not
how
like
much-
being a strawberry. Anyway.
Happens to be in a drawer
So-
all the time.
Julia,
Yes, darling.
when we cut the scallops with the bacon,
Yes, ma'am.
how long do we normally do that for?
That is a fabulous question.
Isn't it?
I'm gonna go with about 3 minutes aside.
Okay, and is that going to get the bacon crispy?
Maybe not. So that's why we'll check it after that. And maybe add a little more time.
So we're going to do this by the seat of our pants like usual. Okay, so here we are, Julia is turning the
Squash.
squash, yes, the acorn squash.
And
watch.
closing the grill.
Watch your fingies.
Now, if you're not familiar with
She's
acorn
gonna-
squash, tell us a little bit about it, Julia.
It's squash and it's yellow. And it looks like an acorn.
I could have done that. Generally, it's a little sweeter, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's a little sweeter.
See, we invited her to show up.
Well, it's almost like a sweet potato, really, isn't it? Honestly, when you
think
really
they
get
pulled
down to
my
it, it just has a little slightly different constitution.
Correct.
Now, see,
that is a little bit
always
more
ask
fibrous.
the chef. Don't ask the guest.
It's always
ask
a
the chef.
bit, always a bit more
Which one is the
fibrous.
chef?
Well, he's he's cooking, so I'm thinking it's him, her. Now the spinach won't take any time at all. Spinach cooks up
No,
like that,
spinach-
so we'll throw that on.
Right at the end, I
Excellent.
think. And the scallops we should probably put on in just a couple minutes, you think?
I think
Yes.
so.
Okay,
I
in the
do.
meantime, why don't you tell us about this fabulous wine that we're drinking?
Well, actually, we need to take a little commercial break first.
Oh, we do? Oh, that's right.
do.
Okay.
We'd
Time
like
to pay
to,
the bills.
we'd like to thank our sponsors, Massage Envy and Santa Rosa Beach Club, for sponsoring the Three Julias show. And we'll be back in a couple of seconds.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.